Hello there and welcome to Gary Goes. And no, my name is still not Gary. So yeah, it's been 3-4 weeks since my last trip to New York. If you haven't already watched that video, then get on it right away. Time for another little trip, and yeah, I'm on a 2-day mini cruise to Amsterdam. So this is going from Newcastle, technically North Shields, which is my new neck of the woods up in the northeast. So yeah, this is it's basically a glorified ferry, really. It's an overnight crossing over from Newcastle over to Amsterdam, or Nijmegen. Apologies to anyone who actually knows the correct way to pronounce that, but just near Amsterdam. Overnight crossing, gets there tomorrow, so today is currently Saturday. Get there Easter Sunday, so hopefully things will be open. And there's a coach transfer included that takes you to Amsterdam for about 5 or 6 hours, I think. So yeah, hopefully enough time to get a bit of a flavour of the place. But yeah, just checked in. The ferry, cruise ship, whatever we're going to call it, leaves about 5 o'clock, I think. So check-in opened about 2:30, so I got there just after that. As I say, local to me, so just got a taxi, very handy. Checked in, a little bit of security, and I'm on board in my small cabin. But there's only me, so hopefully it'll be enough space, and I'm not going to spend much time in here. I'm going to check out the bar and the restaurant and all of that. You know, you book in, you pre-book meals and stuff, so that's all done. So, and it's only overnight, and the weather is decent, so hopefully at least when we leave port, I'm going to be on deck and enjoying the weather and the view of the northeast, which I will share with you. But first, of course, it's time for, I'd say, a room review. It's a cabin review. It's a little bit pokey, so I'm gonna have to obviously turn the camera around and yeah, enjoy the review. So here we are in the cabin review. Yeah, some exciting, no doubt, safety announcements. So I'm on the floor 8. So there's 11 decks. I said floor, I should have said deck. Obviously, what a noob. And here's the room. So yeah, it's a little bit pokey, but you know, for one person, I'm sure it'll be fine. It is an inside room, no expense spared. They do obviously ones with portholes and stuff. There's the sick bags, hopefully won't be needing those. But yeah, the bed looks okay. Small double, wasn't brave enough to go for the bunks. But there's a little bit of storage under there. And then there's a sort of bedside table-y bit. It's not a desk, it's a kind of ledge. And just important to note, if you are thinking of coming, bring your travel adapter, because it is a European power system and time. So yeah, it's kind of like you start your holiday early. Little mirror, there's me, hello. And into the bathroom. So it's kind of like a wet room scenario there, which is all right. Toilet and your sink and soap. I didn't have any soap, or it didn't work when I got into it to ask them, but they came to sort that. They give you towels, obviously all good. So yeah, that's the room. I mean, it's not too exciting. It's obviously smaller than you'd get in a proper hotel room, but hopefully it'll be all you need. Just obviously I'm just going to be sleeping here. Otherwise I'm going to be out exploring, sitting in the bar, sitting on deck. Hopefully the weather should be decent. So yeah, let's go and explore. So yeah, here we are on the deck, the top deck. I can't remember if that's deck 11 or 13, but yeah, right at the top, the sky bar. So sort of an outdoor seating area. They do have a bar there. Strangely, it wasn't open when we left Newcastle, well, North Shields, but it was open when we were sort of setting off from Amsterdam. So maybe it's weather dependent, because as you can see, it was decent weather when we left, but certainly much nicer in Europe, as we're not in Europe anymore. Ooh. Anyway, yeah, so you'll see that on the way back. So this is us leaving North Shields, passing along the Tyne, and coming alongside, there's a little visitor that was berthed next to the, it was the King Seaway. I didn't mention that before, but that's the name of the DFDS ship. So there's actually 2 ferries. I believe they're our sister ships, so I don't think there's very much difference. But yeah, the King Seaway and the Princess Seaway, I think that's right. Anyway, so this was the King, and yeah, so berthed next to us as we left was the slightly more impressive cruise ship. Oh, not by much, but yeah, definitely more expensive, let's say that. The Queen Victoria, so the Cunard ship, sister ship to the QE2. So I think that put into port maybe like a week before, so I think that was around for a few weeks. And as I record this, a couple of days after I get back, I think it's just left. So yeah, and then, so that was us leaving the Tyne. I did do some shots of coming through North Shields and Tynemouth, but it was a little bit murky, so we'll do that coming back. But this is out on deck as we're steaming through the North Sea as it's come up to late evening before dinner. Yeah, definitely very windy on the sides, but the back not too bad. And yeah, now we have the amazing Columbus Club, where I spent most of the evening. It was all right. They had a live band, they had, you know, DJ. The second day they had bingo. It wasn't much for that, but yeah, it was all right. It was, you know, the prices weren't crazy. I mean, they were just cans of beer for like €4 or €5, but it wasn't, considering you're stuck on a ship, it wasn't too bad. Yeah, this was the entertainment. And the following morning, as you can see, some blue skies now as we're approaching mainland Europe. It was a really, really nice morning. I didn't record the breakfast or the dinner because they were both buffets. I'll talk a bit more about them later. But you know, walking around with a camera while people are trying to get food and stuff is a little bit off key. So yeah, I didn't record that. But yeah, suffice to say the food wasn't amazing, it wasn't awful, it was okay, as you would expect from like the buffet. But yeah, this is out on deck. You can just see on the skyline there, approaching the coast of Amsterdam, but absolutely gorgeous day already. This must have been like, you know, 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning after breakfast. Yeah, stunning. So you can walk all around the sides, all around the stern. Yeah, that's right, the back. So this is just a little taste of what it's like inside. As I said, I didn't do too much filming of like the restaurants and a little bit of the bar, but this is on deck 8, I think. So you come in, there's a children's play area, there's this coffee shop with sort of Starbucks and stuff. You know, there's that you pay for as well as the breakfast. Obviously you get coffee and stuff with breakfast, but you don't have to pay for meals. So if not, I guess you could just pay for your coffee, and they do Danish and stuff. Little model of the ship. And so this is the pub. So upstairs, I've already shown you the Columbus Club, and there's like a sort of bar attached to that. This is the slightly more, I don't know, chill pub area. I think they generally had like a live singer in here most of the evening. But yeah, this is a bit more sort of your spoons, where you might go for a chat rather than, you know, listen to some cheesy music. And yeah, this sort of little foyer area. The main sort of entrance on the deck below, that's where they had like the customer services and stuff. There was mainly like 3 decks really, with like restaurants and bars, and there's a shop as well, like the duty-free shop. So I'd say it's probably like, if you've done like a cross-channel ferry, it's definitely a step up from that in terms of the facilities. There's also a cinema right down in the bowels of the ship. I didn't bother with that, but yes, there's definitely more going on than a cross-channel cruise, but you know, yeah, not up there with as you'd expect really, like with Caribbean or Mediterranean cruise ships. It's definitely like a middle ground kind of thing. Yeah, a lot more shots as we're approaching Amsterdam. Lots of windmills, windmills, wind turbines, whatever, in the sea. Lots of ships. God, I tell you what, this is what you tune in for. But anyway, here we are. We've arrived. This is Amsterdam, sunny Amsterdam. Absolutely amazing. That's the central station. So yeah, the bus drops you off just the other side of the station really. So like 5-10 minute walk and you're here. And I was really impressed. You know, I've done a few little shots around, but this is the first time I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Holland before, or the Netherlands, but never Amsterdam. So I was impressed. So this is sort of the main road leading down to the square, Dam Square, which you'll see here, with the town hall and the church, the monument. I guess, you know, to be trite about it, this is the Netherlands version of Trafalgar Square, I guess. Trams, which were all around. So we ended up getting about I'd say about just over 4 hours, 4.5 hours, because getting through immigration was a bit of a delay, and then the coach takes about 45 minutes to get from, and try saying it again, Imugen, anyway, to Amsterdam. So yeah, just over 4 hours, which was, it was enough to get a flavour of it. So this is just outside Anne Frank's house. Obviously didn't have time to go into the museum, and there were quite big queues, but it's a must see on any trip to Amsterdam. So yeah, there's the building where Anne Frank and her family hid away from the Nazis. Again, God, you get history and everything on this channel. It's amazing. Yeah, just a few shots of the canal system. Again, that's what Amsterdam's famous for. Well, one of the things that Amsterdam's famous for. I'd say there's probably three, and you might get a little sample of the other two later on. But this is a family-friendly channel, so the main thing is the canals and the food. Yeah, Dutch fries, mayonnaise, and a croquette was my lunch. And very good it was too. Yeah. Lots and lots of bicycles. You do have to watch out for people coming up behind you, ringing the bells. They don't give you much notice. But I'm sure most of you guys will have been to Amsterdam before, so you know the score, you know what to expect. But as I say, I hadn't been. And really, I'd say it was pretty much what I expected. There weren't any great surprises. It was a gorgeous day. But yeah, really, really pretty all around the canals. I had to have an Amstel beer on the River Amstel, clearly. And this is the main river. So yeah, I couldn't have asked for a better day for the weather. It was stunning. I had to buy a super, super cheesy hat to protect my bald head from the unexpected sun. So I literally bought the cheapest one that Primark had to offer. Don't care what I look like. I was only there for a few hours, not out to impress anyone. Yeah, gorgeous bridge, gorgeous architecture all around. Obviously, it's somewhere I want to spend some more time. But yeah, 4 hours or so was enough to get a little bit of a flavour. And yeah, the red light district. So you won't be getting any shots of the window prostitutes, as that would be extremely bad taste. But they were there. Even on Easter Sunday, they were there. But yeah, obviously you get all the coffee shops and everything, and the bars. I'm sure it's a different story in the evening, but I'd say it was relatively family friendly at this time. And yeah, this is just picking up the coach again, right on the waterfront. I guess this is the sea. I think it's the North Sea Canal as it cuts through the Netherlands. But yeah, you get a lot of really, really big ships on there. The dams are really impressive as you come through from Imugen. I'm going to try saying it again. And yeah, here we go. They're leaving port, so get another little shot of the sky deck. Yeah, you had to be back on the ship. I think it was about an hour and a half before departure, so it was really nice just to sit on top of the deck there. Like I said, the bar was open on the way back, so it was great to get a drink, sit out in the sun, and then yeah, leaving port. Some stunning beaches. I don't think Holland's particularly well known for its beaches, but yeah, really nice. Definitely somewhere to go. Although the backdrop, I'm not sure if you can see it on that previous shot, but I might pan around in a minute. The backdrop is a little bit industrial. No, probably not. So the other side of the port is sort of a steel factory, I think. Or you might see it now. Nope. So good morning from the final day of the trip, and I thought I'd come outside to find a quiet spot. Hopefully no one was going to walk by and wonder why I'm talking to my phone like an umpty. But yeah, I thought I'd give you my final thoughts while I'm not in a very cramped, small cabin with nothing much to look at. This way you've got the North Sea as we're approaching Newcastle, looking out over there. I won't bother showing you because it's kind of on the horizon, a bit murky, but we're coming up past Middlesbrough, just past the North Yorkshire Moors and Whitby whilst having breakfast, which was pleasant. Yeah, so I should be going into Newcastle probably in about an hour or so. So yeah, apologies that I look tired. I am tired. Never sleep well in hotels really anyway, particularly like the first night or two. And obviously throw in the fact that you're on a ship. Although I have to say, last night was calm. I mean, you can probably see that for the North Sea, that's remarkably calm. Decent weather. I can only imagine that it would be yeah, quite a different story if it was choppy. But yeah, as I say, slept not too bad last night. First night, not well at all, but yeah, it's been a great trip all in all. I mean, a few little niggles with the DFDS, but they are little, really. You know, it's quite stuffy in that cabin. I imagine with 2 people it might be a little bit difficult to manage. Definitely wouldn't go with the bunk beds, but yeah, the bed was fine. The bed was okay. Food here is again okay. It was reasonably decent. You know, buffet dinner and breakfast. Lots of people. It's the bank holiday Easter weekend, probably the busiest they've been since COVID. So yeah, lots and lots of people and quite hectic. But the food was all right. You know, again, you're not expecting that it's going to be amazing, you know, restaurant quality cooked to order. It's a, you know, a hot buffet, but they have plenty of choice. You know, salads. They had they didn't have burgers actually, weirdly. They had kebab burgers, which was a bit odd. But they had sort of tacos and cottage pie, fish and chips, all that kind of stuff. You know, along with a few sort of Chinese beef and a couple of curries and stuff. But it was fine. But yeah, the trip all in all's been decent. It's the same every night, so you know, I wouldn't do this trip probably more than once in a short period. It's the same food, it's the same entertainment. Well, they did have bingo yesterday. Can't say I partook in the bingo, but you know, they had the same bands playing the same songs. So one night was great, 2 nights, yeah, you get in a little bit, you know, try and mix it up a little bit. But no, it's been a really good trip. 250 quid it cost, which is for the return, and that includes meals as well. So dinner both ways, breakfast both ways, and the transfer into Amsterdam. So yeah, definitely worth it for that. Couldn't have asked for better weather. Great trip overall. There we go, back home now. Yeah, and as promised, this is the entrance into Tyneside. So you've got South Shields here on, I'm going to say left, I don't know, port, starboard, port I think. Anyway, the left-hand side as you come in, South Shields, which is sort of a bit of a holiday type destination for the northeast. And then on the other side, we're back on the sky deck. As you can see, it's a little bit chillier than it was when we left Holland. But there's the 2 piers as you come in through down into the River Tyne from the North Sea. And then yeah, on the left or starboard side, there is Tynemouth, which is my neck of the woods. That's where I live. It's a lovely place, fairly close to Newcastle, but still right on the coast, with the Priory there. It also got some amazing beaches that you can't quite see. All come to Tynemouth. It's amazing. Yeah, so that's on that side, and then the ferry comes down through the Tyne through into North Shields, and the ferry terminal is the other side of North Shields. So yeah, a little bit more of Tynemouth as we come through. So yeah, to sum up really, would I do the trip again? I don't know, not in a short time. You know, I've done it now, I've been there, I've experienced it. Perhaps, you know, a few years in the future, or if I was with somebody who really wanted to do it, then I wouldn't be against it. It's clearly not the cheapest or the easiest way to get to Amsterdam. So if you just want to see Amsterdam, absolutely it's not worth doing. You know, you can fly from Newcastle even if you're up in the northeast. But yeah, if you want a sort of weekend or a short breakaway, and you're happy to sleep in the cabins, then absolutely do it. It's well worth it. Although I would say, again, very, very weather dependent, which you can't always predict, obviously. So yeah, there we go. That is our entrance into North Shields. Hope you've enjoyed sailing with me today, and another episode of Gary Goes.